Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany. Welcome back, or welcome if you've never been here before. Today you are looking at a woman that pre-orders before signings now. I'm very excited to announce, to report, to celebrate the fact that I am pre-ordered for Love in Vegas. If you do not know, Love in Las Vegas, which is what I believe it was called before Wild and Windy took on the book signing, is a book signing here in Las Vegas. It will be my third year going, and it's going to be at the Paris this year. The ticket prices were a little bit more expensive, but I'm excited to see what Wild and Windy does with the event. And I'm now pre-ordered for it. Okay, I don't know who I am. Because if you don't know, I've never pre-ordered for a signing before. Shocking, I know. But I have very organized bookish friends like Caitlin from The Love Librarian and Christy from Christy Reads a Lot, Bookish Chanel. Okay, and I've been influenced by them and quite frankly, my budget in my pockets to go ahead and pre-order books this time. So I would like to celebrate that fact by sharing what I've pre-ordered for that signing and the TBR that spawned from looking at the pre-orders. I also would like to boot you into a mini reading vlog so that I could just make good on the books that I say I'm going to read. The reading vlog portion of this video has yet to be filmed. I want to commit to actually doing that so we can get this started. I came up with this idea when I was updating my reading spreadsheet tracker. I am currently tracking my bookish expenses this year, and I realized that my current way of going about signings may or may not need to change because I typically am prepared for signings. I'm more concerned about the books that I'm bringing, okay, my flight, accommodations, and yes, I'm very excited to see all the authors, but I'm always more excited to spend time with my friends in real life. So I'm planning the food that we will be having together, as well as the attire, the fits that I will be wearing to said gatherings. When it comes to the signings, I typically have like a crash course as to what the room's gonna look like, come up with a game plan in terms of what tables I'm gonna hit, and then I just kind of have faith that what I want will be there, that I will come home with the books that I'm meant to come home with. And this year, I quite frankly, after doing the numbers, cannot fiscally fund the fantasy and the shock and awe that I have after the signing, and I look at my statements and I can't believe how much I've bought. So this year, I've been influenced to pre-order, be a little bit more organized so that I'm not as influenced by pretty covers when I arrive on the day. I do have a tendency to point and shop like Michael Jackson, who I don't have it like. And this year I need to kind of damper down the delusion that I can fund that. So I'm very excited that I'm a pre-order woman now, and I do want to boot you back into the past when I was crunching those numbers and share all of the pre-orders that I have for Love in Vegas. Then I will meet you back here to go over the TBR portion that came from those pre-orders. Hopefully, future me has gotten you all the way together with the idea that's spawning right now. I am currently updating my reading spreadsheet tracker for this year. I bought this from Allie, the hardback hoarder, has a ton of metrics, one of which are bookish transactions. And I'm currently catching myself up to speed as to how much I've been spending this year. And some of that coin has gone towards pre-orders for Love in Vegas, which is my first time. Okay, we're a pre-order woman right now. This isn't girly activity. This is mature. Okay, I'm tracking it. This is not like my default setting. And so I want to go over all of the books that I've pre-ordered for Love in Vegas because I'm, taking a note for my bookish friends. I'll get to run around with my cart and grab my pre-orders now. So the first book that I pre-ordered was from Liz Tom Ford. She has a special edition of The Right Move. I do like the cover, so I will be getting that. I have that to pick up. I've got my receipt. It is paid for. Okay, I'm also going to be getting The Weight of It All by N.R. Walker, who I absolutely adore. This romance, it's an MM, and it's between Henry, who has just gotten out of well, it's been a debilitating breakup. He wants to start over and he decides to join a gym, which is how he starts his romance with Reed, his personal trainer. And I think I have yet, since reading this book, read a book that covers body positivity in the way that N.R. Walker's able to include fit bodies into that conversation. All of the assumptions that Henry has about Reed's character and about how Reed would see him because of how he looks is brought into the chat, and it's just ooey freaking gooey. It is so good. The support between them, it's sweet. It's a favorite. And so I'm absolutely getting the special edition of that. I saw it and I kind of went ham with Morgan Elizabeth. I have the special edition copy of Cruel Summer and I want all of the other books to match. So I got The Fall of Bradley Reed, which was available last year, but I didn't pre-order. Okay, so I missed out. And I'm going to be getting The Ick Factor, which I have read. This is her new release this year, in addition to All My Love. But I didn't buy it because I haven't read it yet, which is why I think I should probably build a TBR. But I got Ick Factor. I rated that 4 stars. That's a workplace romance between a savvy secretary that's really his right-hand woe man and a hero that's aiming to not just inherit his father's company, but he's kind of got a vie for it. And so that requires a fake engagement between them. And I liked the book. In fact, the Ick Factor really isn't a thing as much as the title would suggest, but I enjoyed their connection. I really like the heroine. So I have to get the special edition cover for that. And I was looking and hoping that 'Tis the Season for Revenge would be on there to kind of like just make it match so I can seasonally read these, and it's not there, but that's okay. That's what I've pre-ordered so far, and I'm kind of on the hunt to see what else I want at this point, but I just want to pop in and share this just in case this video idea becomes reality. Actually, in the space-time continuum of this video, I am far into the future past the intro. I just want to pop in and say that I will be adding 'Tis the Season for Revenge to my pre-orders because, thank you, Caitlin from the Love Librarian. Because of bookish besties like her, I now know that this is available. It was not when I first was pre-ordering books, and I need them all to match, okay? Because I'm a hoe for a theme. I am a seasonal Sally, and I'm very excited that they're all gonna line up. So I just wanted to pop in and say we'll be adding this book, and I'll pitch you back to my past, your future, in the putting together of this video. Welcome back to the future. Now we're going to go over the TBR that spawned from the pre-orders that I saw. I saw a lot of special edition covers, books that I haven't read by authors that I already love, and I want to make my way to their table knowing that I'm either pre-ordered, because I believe the cutoff for a lot of the pre-orders are towards the end of this month, like around the 20th, the 25th, give or take a couple days depending upon the author. But even if I don't make the pre-order cutoff, I would like to show up to the table knowing that I've read the book before buying it, because there are so many books on my shelves that I have yet to read that I've just kind of picked up on a whim, and I would like to make more informed purchases this time. So starting off with Sam Mariano, out of all of the authors that are going to be at the signing, I have the most books that I'm bringing for her. And when I came across Brutal Ambitions, I was reminded that she has a spin-off series from the Coastal Elite that I absolutely adore. In fact, I have every single book in her Coastal Elite series. I've yet to pick up Brutal Ambitions. And out of both covers that I saw, I'm definitely leaning towards the skull cover, and I want to have it read so I can at least buy it and bring it for her to sign, or hope that it's on the table. This one is going to be centered around a secret society. It's going to be collegiate, and it's going to have a Sam Mariano brand of hero, which I'm always on board for. Okay, the mastermind of a situation that she is coming up with for the Coastal Elite series, I'm just ready for. Now, I did miss out on the special edition cover for Untouchable, but I'm not really upset about it because it's not my favorite cover. I've seen others that I actually want to get my hands on, so I'm not too upset about that. But the fact that I get to meet San Mariano is sending me. I cannot wait. I want her to sign all of my books. I just want to meet the mastermind behind heroes that run rent-free in my brain. Like Mateo, if I see that series on her table, I will be pointing and buying, but I've already read that. We've got to get Brutal Ambition in to make that purchase make sense, but I can't see myself not wanting it to just be like synchronized on my shelf with Coastal Elite. So I'm excited about that. Another author that I need to actually move quite up on the TBR is Gianna Darling, Asking for Trouble. I don't know how I haven't read that yet, but I have not. For Gianna, it's a novella. I believe it's a little over 300 pages, but I have to read this. And again, my hope is to actually meet her pre-order cutoffs because Gianna Darling's line is always long and she always takes the time to speak to her readers. I always feel like I have a moment with her. And so at least if this is read and it's pre-ordered, I don't have to worry about having my book signed and kind of getting to just be in the air of her, because it really does like feel special getting to meet her at each signing. But because I know I'm not the only one who feels that way, that line's gonna be long. Okay, so if I can have this read and pre-ordered, then I can be scooting around that signing knowing that I got my books. That's the goal of this, but I absolutely want to read Asking for Trouble before the signing. I also cannot wait to meet Riley Hart. Riley Hart is the author of Heated Rivalry. I adore this hockey romance. Ilya and Shane are like leather and lace on and off the ice. I cannot wait for her to sign this. In fact, I couldn't get the physical copy for this book for a very long time. So when it became available, I was so happy about it. And I still need to continue on and read The Longest Game. This is a continuation of Shane and Ilya's story, and I have to read it. I keep putting it on TBRs. I keep putting it off. Sometimes it's on KU and sometimes it's not. I know that the audiobook is available through My Hoopla, so I need to read this before the signing so I can have her sign both of these. I also read On the Mountain by her earlier this year. That is set in a small town centered around Crow, who's a recluse. He's nonverbal, and a man that's starting over, and it's their romance. It was just very feral, like insatiable between them. So if she has a copy at the signing, I'm definitely going to be buying that as well. I need to get into more Morgan Elizabeth. Now, Morgan Elizabeth has All of My Love, which is the second chance that I have yet to get to. I want to read that. And I'm also thinking about possibly getting into, I believe it's called her Evergreen series. I'm not sure, but the first book is Passenger Princess. It's a Grumpy Sunshine bodyguard romance between Miss America, I believe, or Miss Universe, and the man that's going to be taking her across the country. And I want to read that because her second book in the series is going to be releasing during the signing. I believe it's like October 25th. And if you're seeing this video, I'm assuming that it's not coming out in a timely manner. As of now, the cover hasn't been revealed for the second book. I will throw it up if it has by the time this video is coming out. If editing me can get it together, I have no doubt it's going to be cute. And I'm hoping that she has her newest release at the signing. So I want to at least try to read the first book. I'm not sure if they're going to be standalones, but we shall see. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about all of the videos that I have, quite frankly, filmed since the mid-year freakout tag that you have not seen. So I'm really hoping that this does get out shortly after her cover reveal. I don't even know when that's happening, but hopefully I have a cover to show you. I've been filming. You just haven't seen a lot of the videos. For the mid-year freakout tag, I did edit that, and it was a feat for reasons. It's kind of giving See You Next Tuesday Yonder cottage core, you know? Whitney, drop the itney, grab that oar. Ah! I love it. I love it. That was a bar in another life. And you're just gonna splice it, editing me. You should probably look up if that's a form of representational violence, though. It's the breakout down. It's the breakout down. It's the breakout down. Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany. Welcome back. By the time I finished editing that video, it was no longer the middle of the year, and so I really hope you're seeing this one today. Moving on. The next author that I want to read is Eden Finley and Saxon James. Yes, I say it like that, okay? That duo, they are going to be in the States and they're coming to the signing. I cannot wait. Now, as of today, because I keep checking, as of today, Eden Finley's pre-order page isn't working, but on her website, obviously, the Puck Boy series is co-authored by Eden Finley and Saxon James, and I need to finish that. On her website, it's only showing like 5 books, although I know that there are 6 books in that series, and by the time of the signing, there will be 7, because the 7th book comes out September 19th, and so although I am expecting to get through them all, if I don't, I at least need to make more progress within that series because I've only read 2, and I would absolutely love if they both could sign that series for me. I also want to get to the Divorced Men series by Saxon James, okay? I saw beautiful illustrated hard-covered copies of this book that was at the price of $135, which is exactly the moment that spawned my idea for this TBR, because I cannot justify that level of girl math at this point. I need to continue on past the first book within the series, which has been recommended to me by Caitlin from the Love Librarian. And so to stand before her, okay, my bookish friend that's given me this recommendation, and quite frankly the table, without going crazy, I need to continue on in the series because I don't want to get caught up, you know, in the rapture of the event, which happens very easily for me. I know thyself. And so I do know that individual books within this series can be bought. I saw a hardcover of the last book and then an autumnal like illustrated cover in paperback, and so I want to be able to discern and know what my favorite in the series are. So I don't need to buy all of them, but I want to be able to pick a few out. Okay, so definitely need to make my way through both of those series, and that leads me to N.R. Walker. N.R. Walker, who has written Evolved. I am absolutely bringing this to get signed. I cannot shut up about this book. This is an MMAI romantic suspense, okay, between Lloyd, who buys Sean, a synthetic human automated unit, and it is their romance. Because Sean may or may not be sentient. And this book, like many other AI romances, cover the same questions that I thoroughly enjoy being explored in serial killer romances, which is the question of whether or not non-organic operating systems have the capability of love. I'll put it that way. And that may or may not be a problem for the company that Sean comes from. And I love this book. I absolutely need to get it signed along with my pre-order for The Weight of It All. I plan on reading the continuation of Henry and Reed's story, but I don't necessarily think I need to own the Christmas novella. Don't quote me on that because I might come home with it. I'm just saying, I'm not planning on buying that, but I do want to read it, and I don't mind reading it a little bit before the holiday. So definitely going to be reading that, and Lacuna. I could not find Lacuna on her pre-order list. I believe I can get it on Amazon, but that is an MM fantasy romance, and I believe it's like over 500 pages. I cannot wait to see how N.R. Walker writes fantasy, so I'm getting to that, and I think I'm gonna buy it so that it can be signed. And lastly, I came across some pretty cute covers, okay, for a novella series centered around lightning storm chasers. And before I clicked pre-order, I figured that I should probably read that first. And it's perfect timing because I have tickets to go see Twister, the original, in 4DX at my local theater, okay? 4DX is an experience. If you have a theater near you, go, okay? It's worth the coin. I feel like prices have just gone up on everything of late. I mean, I remember when I bought my tickets for Fast and the Furious and my friend was late, and so I got her ticket with mine and it was $8 for both. But anyway, I'm going to see Twister in theaters in 4DX. I'm very excited. And since I'm a hoe for a theme, I feel like that's gonna pair nicely with her Storm Boys series. So I wanna read all three. There's also a prequel novella, and that is also the series that I want to make good on reading in this video. So if you're seeing this, that has happened. At this point in time, we've got to start doing that. But I want to read this series and see if I can make it before pre-orders and see if I can actually read it either before or around the time that I have those Twister tickets. Maybe I can actually watch Twisters because I haven't watched that yet. I'm going to start right now with the first book in the Storm Boy series and I'll be back. I want to give you like my initial thoughts right away, and so let's get into it. Okay, I have started the book, and this is much later now because I did watch Twisters, and I do think it is going to be fitting for this series. I enjoy Twisters. I think it did a good job of standing on its own in terms of a movie while also giving a nod to the OG Twister, and so I enjoyed it. I really did. You know, the environmental horror of it all, it was good. Now, Outrun the Rain is a good start. I haven't made my way into much of it because I did watch the movie, but I've met our heroes. This is set in Australia, and we're following Tully, who considers himself to be a storm chaser, and he is very much that. He is notorious for being able to experience an abundance of storms in this secluded national park, which is exactly where Dr. Jeremiah, aims to conduct his research. And so he requests through correspondence to tag along, which Tully really isn't excited about. He likes to go to get away and be in the thrill of nature, where I do like this dichotomy between them that's being positioned, where Jeremiah studies storms. He doesn't chase them, and he studies them to gain a better understanding. Now, Tully's expecting Jeremiah to be a bit older, okay, salt and pepper, and when he arrives, when Jeremiah gets there, he realizes, okay, he's an attractive younger man. Now, I do like how in the beginning of this, I haven't gotten into anything romantic, and that may be because this is the first book and, you know, the next two is going to continue on with their romance, but I like how there isn't any insta love going on. Tully's still not excited to take him with, but he does clock that the man is attractive, isn't quite sure of his sexuality, if Jeremiah is just nervous to actually experience his research or if it's something else. And I am enjoying the forced proximity element because they are going out there, will be forced into proximity in a small trailer, and it already feels like a survival romance as well, which I wasn't expecting. The reason why I think it ties into Twister is because of the danger of these electrical storms, of lightning, and the fact that they have to kind of be in the eye of it to get the thrill or to get the numbers that Jeremiah is out there to get. And so I'm kind of made it to that. I'm not sure what really drives Jeremiah. He is pretty buttoned up compared to Tully at this point, but I think that there's something else going on, or something that's like driving his passion, because he's holding a few things close to the vest, and I'm interested in seeing what his backstory speaks to and why that is. And also why Tully is just like out here like he is. So I'm going to continue on. I won't draw it out. I'll try to at least finish this and be into the next one before I see you again. But I am enjoying the dynamic between them, and that things don't feel like they're moving too fast, even though these are novella length, like a little over 200 pages each. So I'll be back. officially seen Twister in 40X. I'm just wrapping up Beam Me Up Book Club with my co-host Ava. If you do not know, we host an alien and monster romance book club. You should join us if that speaks to you. However, I do have to say, Twister in 40X was everything. It was nostalgia, but it also was a little surreal because it felt like the movie was just coming out. Like it felt like Philip Seymour Hoffman was still with us. How they made lightning happen, the rain, we got whooped in there, okay? It was so good. It was so good. I was in the eye. I loved it. It was money well spent. Seeing a fave in the theater, again, is money well spent. I felt that way when I saw Nightmare Before Christmas last Halloween. It was everything. The 40X experience really just made it pop. And so I'm happy that I went to go do that. And I've made my way into the second book of the series, Into the Tempest. And I will say that the first book was 4 stars for me. And I think I'm on board. I might end up pre-ordering this series because I do think that a lot of books could just be one, but the way that N.R. Walker had a natural end to the first book while still forcing them into proximity, I thought was clever, and it was believable. Because in the first book, this is a temporary situation. Jeremiah is only out here to do his research for a short amount of time. So even as their connection is being built, even as we as readers become privy to why he is studying storms in the way that he is, also as to why he's more of a risk taker than we, or I will say that I assumed him to be. I think even with all of the steady progress in their connection and them learning of each other's backstories. Also, it's funny, there's a role reversal. I'm just gonna say there's a role reversal. We start out thinking that Tully is the wild child and Jeremiah is buttoned up. But when we're out there in the survival situation, chasing lightning, they kind of switch and we get to know who they are as characters. And in that sort of like emotional intimacy, we have some physical connection as well that leads to more. And like I said, there's a natural end to the first book that leads to the second one that does feel like it escalates in terms of their intrigue in one another, their commitment, but it's also escalating as the external conflict of the storms is escalating, or I'll say the severity of them, the importance of what Jeremiah is studying and how it could impact not just like their community, but like the world. Like why knowing when lightning is going to strike could help communities. We get into more of the survival aspects, like that's amping up in this book, and we get to kind of see the peril of lightning and not just like the passion and the beauty and the marvel of it. And so as that is heating up, so is their romance. And it also feels a bit natural because of the stakes in the book, but it's really sweet and it's very new to Jeremiah. I will just say that his relationship with the co-workers that are still in Melbourne isn't the best. And so this also feels like found family because Tully's kind of bringing him into all of that. And it does feel like it's happening a bit fast for both of them. And it just, as a reader, is very sweet and like very, very cute. It's very new for both of them. I'm just like, I'm giddy at this point, and I'm kind of interested in seeing where this goes. Although their time together has been extended, I do enjoy in romances trying to see how an author makes all the practical reasons for why they can't be together go away, or how they work around that, handle that, and make it believable that they would shuffle their lives together, or the logistics. So I'm interested in seeing where that goes, and like the extent of, now that I know why Jeremiah is studying storms, like how that's gonna unfold, how that's gonna work out for him. So I'm set. I think I'm gonna be buying more books, and I will be back when I wrap all of this up. I'm hoping I can get to the prequel novella as well, but don't quote me on that. I will be back and see where I've landed. Oh my god. Ah, it's so pretty. Shut up. Shut up. So be. This is stupid. This is stupid pretty. What? Oh my god. Oh, I'm definitely taking it to the signing. I've got to get it signed. Shut up. This is so freaking stunning. Oh my god. Stop. Speaking of pre-orders, I cannot believe that I forgot to tell you, or I forgot that I pre-ordered Brutal Prince. It's stunning. If her new Kingmaker series is anything like this, I have to get in the know, and I need to own all of them. So that might make its way into the books that I'm bringing, because this is absolutely gorgeous. I can see why her website crashed, okay? I see why now. Oh my gosh. I will be bringing this to Love in Las Vegas. Oh my gosh, or Love in Vegas now that it's the Wild and Windy event. I'm interested in seeing how I feel about it this third time going. So I am here to wrap up this video. I did read the prequel novella, and just spoiler alert, I'll just jump to that. I'm not going to be pre-ordering it. It does not have the same amount of angst and work being put into that HEA. And it could just possibly be because it is one book for their second chance romance. These characters are seen in the trilogy. It's a second chance. And I think things happen too easily. And also the reasons for their separation, I don't feel like substantiated the time lost, but it was cute. And I think I'm glad that I read it after the trilogy. So if you're gonna read this series, I feel like it's a fun getting to know side characters that we saw type of novella, but I'm rating it 3 stars. I don't need to pre-order it. Now, I finished Touch the Lightning. I hope that's a title. The cover is gonna be up here. If I'm getting it wrong, I apologize. But this just turned into, oh my gosh. This series is one that I'm definitely going to pre-order. It goes there in terms of shuffling their lives together, and also the arc that Jeremiah and Tully go on, not only as a couple, but also I'm not trying to reveal the reasons for why Jeremiah is researching lightning with the fervor that he is, but it's so beautiful. This is found family, and it just comes full circle to the point where I don't feel like this can be classified as insta-love. Like, they're doing the work, which is why the prequel novella felt like faux angst a little bit to me, and why it probably precedes this trilogy. I'm rating the last book 4.5 stars. I absolutely adored it. Again, it kind of wraps up their backstories and they make full arcs together. And I love the community coming into the chat. There's one particular side character who is just everything, and so is Tully's family and who they end up becoming for Jeremiah. It's such a beautiful book. But I thoroughly enjoyed this series. I need to get on pre-ordering 'Tis the Season for Revenge by Morgan Elizabeth, and I'm not sure if I'm going to pre-order the Storm Boy series or if I'm going to wait to see if it's at her table. I should probably pre-order since she's coming a long way. A lot of her books are set in Australia, so I'm guessing she lives in Australia. And I can't even believe that N.R. Walker, Eden Finley, Saxon James are going to be there. And Sam Mariano, I cannot wait. I can't wait for the signing. I'm glad that I've started this TBR. I will be popping in and out with mini videos as I go through them, and I just can't thank you enough for watching. If you are seeing this, this is like the 6th video I have filmed and I have not uploaded, so I am very, very thankful for you being here. Please consider subscribing and sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.